panel is going to be two speakers, one from the health industry and one from the silvers industry. And they're going to have two presentations, and I call this last panel Good Works. And we hear about the products, we've seen the boxes, we've seen the phones, we've seen the televisions, we see the physical aspect of the product. But what we don't hear about is how these products have changed people's lives. And so I've asked two of our speakers to come up to the podium up here and talk about how they're, not about their products, but how their products have delivered quality of life and how they've actually changed people's lives. So I'd like to welcome up to the stage Dan Michel. Dan Michel is with, he's the CEO of Dakim, and if you've been down on the show floor, you have to sit down at the Dakim booth and do a brain exercise. And you know, if you have those senior moments often, enough times with Dan's product and exercising your brain on a regular basis, just like you would get on a treadmill, taking these brain exercises, that short-term memory of yours just might go away. Those senior moments might be less and less. So if you're down on the show floor, really take a look at this. So I'm going to ask Dan to speak for about 7 minutes on how his products have changed people's lives.
Okay. Well, I just, no, okay, I'll tell you when to click, though. And do we have the audio set up on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can click, do I click this?
Down here.
Yeah. So, my business, Dakim, is really a story of necessity is the mother of invention. And that's a picture of my dad in the middle and me on the right and my wife, Kim, so DA from Dan and Kim is Dakim, with my dad. My background had nothing to do with brain fitness. I was the president of marketing of Columbia Pictures, and before that I was the chief operating officer of an advertising agency called BBDO. But my dad got Alzheimer's, and the personal experience of working with him through that had really profoundly changed my life and put me on a different track. My dad sadly died before our product was introduced, but it's been in the market now for about 3 years, and we're now the #1 brand of brain fitness in America's senior living communities. We've got about 600 installed units in about 400 communities. And what Susan asked me to do was to end with the story of outcomes and quality of life. She said, do something that's going to be uplifting. So really what I want to do is I'm going to show you a brief video. I'm not going to talk anymore. I did save my voice, but only this much. Susan and I had a meeting earlier this week where I was losing my voice, and she said, don't you dare lose your voice before Saturday night. So I'm just going to show you a brief... So I'm going to show you a video which will talk about these outcomes. And then if you want me later, I can answer questions.
About to see firsthand what some are calling a high-tech fountain of youth.
The new revolutionary technology promises to help battle the effects of Alzheimer's.
And it's just so state-of-the-art.
Yeah, it can help you fight back.
This is Kansas Nightly News.
We'll combine trivia and video games, and what do you get?
Some hope. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at how a new video game system promises to sharpen the mind.
A mental workout that's not only fun, but supposed to help prevent dementia. Mary Good plays this almost daily and believes it is helping.
I don't have as much trouble recalling the words that I want to use.
This is the first computer game 90-year-old Pauline Snyder has ever played, but the questions are geared for her age group.
Well, it started out with Jimmy Stewart. I know everything there is to know about Jimmy Stewart.
Honor says it's far more engaging than even the most educational television program.
I think this is completely different.
It changes constantly.
86-year-old Steve Abrahamson is getting a strenuous brain workout.
It's fun and it's challenging, and it'll keep your brain cells going.
This is Fox 5 News.
Chris Okiki in McDowell Village. He's a trainer and in classes, but he says the Dakim software is so popular, people are on a waiting list.
I feel more organized. I notice it now after a year of it. I notice, oh, yes.
Correct again.
And when you're talking about an old movie or old books, I come up with an answer.
All right.
I had no idea it was going to sort my head out the way it did.
So what can you do to stay sharp?
And the great thing about the Dakim Brain Fitness is that it helps to build new connections in the brain at any age. So that's the exciting part about it. This is so much fun that it just gets you hooked on it and you want to do it every day.
This helps you think a little bit ahead. Think detail, follow instructions, which I don't always do, but the detail is what helps and the focus on what you're thinking about.
Now, are you a person who had done crossword puzzles and things before?
Oh, yes, yes.
So how is this different to you? What do you like better?
Oh, this is fun.
Bottom line, this is fun.
Yes, I like doing it.
Oh, Steve, so what do you see in the difference when folks use this type of brain exercise?
I think the thing is that people begin to think clearer, they're more alert, more active. I think they begin to, as like I say, the excitement of it and the fun of it, motivates people to want to do it day in and day out.
Sergeant First Class Darnell McFadden was working as a communications officer at Camp Warhorse in Iraq when he suffered a stroke. His left side was partially paralyzed. His speech was slurred. He was having trouble sorting out his thoughts and remembering things. He underwent traditional therapies, but he still felt somehow off. Then he wound up at the Brain Fitness Center.
The service members are able to do a variety of what just appears like games, but they're specific to cognitive dysfunctions and symptoms, and they're based on neurological, psychological tests. They're specifically targeting an area of the brain that a service member might be complaining of difficulties with.
And the computer skills has actually helped me to learn more words.
He says finding the right words has helped him find his new normal.
I cannot tell you what an impact it has had on the residents.
There's not a time that I've gone to our senior center where I haven't seen one of our elders using your product. It is so well received.
You go ahead, Ken, and talk to her about it.
Well, I don't know what to tell her.
But you like the machine.
I like the machine, yes. And it's a miracle machine. That's what it is.
Ken is 91.
Right.
He has all of his teeth, his wonderful vision, and he hears everything. And he's a wonderful, wonderful person.
Because of Brain Fitness, we've been able to create 2 other programs for early Alzheimer's and mild stage Alzheimer's, which we continue to use Brain Fitness. And we believe that Dakim has definitely helped us increase our market share by over 100% in residents.
I find that it helps my patients improve attention and concentration, their memory skills.
2 family members who have said, it seems like my mom's getting sharper.
My mother has used the Dakim Brain Fitness System in a home environment for about the last 6 or 7 months, and it has given her a reason to stay alive.
She likes it. I like it. I enjoy going over there and watching her play the game.
She enjoys visiting with Dan, her boyfriend, on a daily basis. She is even to the point of saying, don't come visit for this 20 minutes or a half an hour because I'm visiting with my boyfriend.
You recall the movies, you recall the music, you recall the pictures. There is so much enrichment in the program.
I found Miles enjoying the Dakim so much that I became a user too.
I love that machine.
The goal is to come away from the 20-minute experience maybe being a little tired because you have really been challenged to use your memory.
It has increased my memory. I feel when I leave that program, I'm much more alert than when I first walked in there.
I've noticed I'm picking up on details even more than I did originally. This